Someone just had a bus in their office.
Yes.
The engines are starting.
Or a jet engine.
That's right. I think that was YouTube.
Okay.
Well, we're supposed to be live, but I don't see it on YouTube, so that's kind of a delay. Well, anyway. Okay, so welcome to the Easy Publish Show, episode 19. So it's a quite nice number. We are here to well, have some fun for start. So to discuss some interesting topics. That of course the main topic is Easy Publish, but we also cover some related topics. First of all, Symfony as an underlying framework, and also content management systems in general. My name is Ivo, and I'm from NetGen. And today I have a few guests. So let's start from the left, what I see here in the Hangout. So welcome, Bruno.
Hi. Should I introduce myself?
Yeah, just say a few words.
Okay, so I'm from Croatia. I'm the PHP editor at SitePoint, and I've had quite a bit of experience in PHP and various frameworks. I haven't had a lot of experience with Symfony or Easy Publish, but I'm here to learn and possibly be converted. I have been experimenting with it all day today, and things haven't been going so smoothly in installing it into a Vagrant box. But you'll have the chance to read about that later on SitePoint, probably later today. That's about it.
Okay, thanks. Here are me, and before that, it was actually not me, it was Angry Che, later about that. So the next guest is Eke from Coolscreen.
Yeah, hello, I'm Eke, and from Hamburg, consultant for Easy Publish since more than 10 years, and part of the ZGW network.
Okay. And then we have from USA, it's very early for him, Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, it's not so early. I think we originally scheduled something at 6:30 a.m. It's 9 a.m., so it's not so early, so I was happy about that. I come from the Symfony world, and I work on the Symfony documentation. So probably Easy Publish people probably read some of the Symfony documentation, so you're welcome, or I'm sorry, you know, whatever your opinion is. And I work for Campy Labs and Campy University, and we do training and consulting in the Symfony world. So I'm here from the Symfony perspective, and it's also a nice way for me to kind of find out more about Easy Publish. So I'm gonna probably do some learning also.
Okay, great. And then last but not least, we have the Stig. Well, he's not the
I'm the original.
You are the original, Stig.
So hi guys, I'm Stig from Keytech. I'm head of innovation, and I'm what you'd like to call a potato. So I'm both technical and marketing wise, and probably contribute on Easy Publish and how it is to work as an agency and solution partner on it, and as well how it was to actually convert to Easy and Easy. We started with Easy 4.7 and now we're on 5, so that was a journey.
Okay. Well, I'll explain a bit later why I called 4 of you. So just quickly to set this topic. So the Easy Publish is a content management system, and with the Easy Publish 5 version, we have the Symfony framework underlying. And this, of course, opened a lot of opportunities for Easy Publish community to use the Symfony things, framework to make some stuff in other way, maybe a more efficient way. Use the bundles that are already there, etc., etc. So it's definitely a step forward. We are working also as an agency and technical agency working with Easy Publish, so we are more and more into Symfony. So this was already covered, and there was a lot of talks in Easy Publish community about that. But today I'm more interested in the other side. So what's in it for Symfony community? Will there be an opportunity for them to use the Easy Publish 5? They're obviously not. Well, it would not be natural to use the legacy, although they are still in there, and it's necessary for some things, but it will be less and less needed in future. So definitely in a year, maybe we will have something that would be pure Symfony based and also completely without the legacy. That's why I'm thinking that this is a good time, a good moment for Symfony to explore a bit about Easy 5. So I asked Bruno, as he's a PHP editor at SidePoint, who has a more PHP or more general PHP perspective, to join also Eke, because he's one of the early adopters of Easy 5 with lots of Easy Publish know-how and also Symfony. Ryan, obviously, as a Symfony expert, and Stig Martin as someone who actually had his CMS switched to Easy Publish 5, so he kind of entered the Easy Publish world recently. So there's quite some interesting know-how there. So I will start popping some questions. So, for example, for Stig, why choose Easy Publish in the first place a couple of years ago? It was not still the new version, but you got to the
Sure.
Easy 4 or something like that, 4.4.
So yeah, we actually started our journey from making our own CMS. We had quite a few hundred customers on it, but we were only local to Norway, and it was too expensive to maintain. So we got to talk with the guys and the founders of Easy actually, and struck a deal on converting our customers. Still going on, by the way. It takes forever. But basically, we started on EC 4.7, which I wish we didn't, because it would have been easier for us to just start on 5 straight away. It was a pain going from 4.7 to 5 because of, obviously, we spent a lot of time learning 4.7, and then we had to educate everybody else on 5 again, so that's an expensive way of entering a new CMS. So our CMS, the one we had before we turned over to EC, was based on PHP as well, and a few standardized objects and classes and stuff. Mostly it was made from scratch otherwise, and it was very much optimized for the developers to be very fast, to deliver really fast on templates, on any kind of backend code, anything. But it also lacked in the flexibility that Easy offers. So what Easy could offer us was a community-based software with the PHP, of course, but also much more flexibility, much more future in it, and I think it's much more enterprise than what we had. We went from, let's say, an advanced, well, I'd say an advanced Drupal solution to Easy. So if Easy opened up a world for us beyond Norway and much more enterprise customers. So that's why we went that way.
Okay, so in general. But you definitely like the Easy 5 more than Easy 4.
Oh yes, I just wish we didn't do 4.7, although we couldn't possibly have known that at that time. But yeah, especially when we got to 5.2, 5.3, that really helped us out. And the Symfony part is lifting both our relationships to customers and our possibilities way beyond what the 4 edition did.
Okay, So Ryan, did you use Easy Publish so far?
I installed it once, so I'm a bad use case. So and it was 5.0, so maybe even before it was released. So not really yet.
But what's your opinion on just generally, like you know, we know that Drupal is using some of the Symfony components, and there is a lot of other, let's say, more serious products also starting to use Symfony, and I wrote a blog post about this a few days ago. So in regards to that, what's your opinion?
Yeah, so to me, there are so many advantages. I mean, there are the obvious advantages, right? Like the reasons that you make this, you know, things like, well, Easy Publish can reuse these underlying components, so and then focus the efforts on what makes Easy Publish great, rather than focusing efforts on, you know, smaller details of how does routing work, things like that, database connections, that kind of stuff. So that's the obvious reason. I think that's the reason that motivates something like Easy Publish to use Symfony. But beyond that, as far as like a user of Easy Publish, things that get me excited are, you know, if we start talking about things like what makes a framework is typically the kind of routing controller flow, or kind of a request routing controller response. Every framework sort of does that in a similar way. We could load up some code right now. I could show you some code of using a micro framework in PHP called Silex. And I'd say this is a framework in PHP that maybe you've never heard of, and here's how it works. And then I could show you that same thing in Symfony, and then I could show you that same thing in Easy Publish, and it would all be exactly the same, because in reality, all of those three things are all using the Symfony framework, or basically all the pieces of Symfony under the surface. So I think Stig kind of touched on this a little bit when he said, you know, Symfony is kind of like elevating their connection with clients and their possibilities, because now you don't know Easy Publish, you know Easy Publish and Symfony, and actually you also know Silex, the micro framework built off of Symfony. So the kind of range of possibilities, you're no longer kind of this small cave. You still have that specialty inside of Easy Publish, but accidentally you have so much more. So as far as like if I were a developer inside of Easy Publish, that's what would make me say like, oh man, we got to get on Easy Publish 5. Like this is going to be huge for what I know. It's going to be huge for the possibilities for our business. Of course, on top of that, you get things like now we have shared documentation. So you're reading the Easy Publish documentation, but if it doesn't cover something, and what it doesn't cover is from Symfony, maybe it's because the Symfony documentation covers it. If Symfony's documentation should cover it but doesn't, maybe that's an opportunity for where the Easy Publish community can actually add to the Symfony documentation. Or same thing with all those bundles. You know, it's really exciting for me that the Easy Publish community is able to take advantage of all the third-party bundles. That's really fantastic. It means that just on day one of being built on the Symfony framework, that Easy Publish users have all of these open source tools. But turning that the other direction, where you sort of said like, what's in it for the Symfony community? Well, as somebody in the Symfony community, I now say this is amazing because we have this entire extra group of users using the same bundles as we are, which means we all have the opportunity to raise those bundles up and make them better and better and better. So, you know, that was like 3 or 4 things right there. It's the joining of the knowledge, the joining of the communities. It just makes us like really, really powerful. And for me, that's definitely what gets me excited about kind of the communities being sort of like one community at this point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. Well, the main point was, you know, what's in it for Symfony, but like you said, actually, it's easier now for Easy 5 to learn Easy 5 for a Symfony developer than for an Easy Legacy developer.
Yeah, it's actually a really, really good point. Yeah, because you know, if we're talking about Easy 4.7 and a client came to me and said, hey, I want to build this and I want to build it on Easy Publish, we'd say, you got to find a different company. Or I need to build this in Symfony because I don't know Easy Publish and we're not going to invest all that time. But now if somebody came and said, hey, we'd like to build this, we'd like you to work with us and build this, and we'd like it to be on Easy Publish, even if I have never used Easy Publish, I can actually say, okay, I think we can do that. Yeah. I think my team could fairly easily use Easy Publish. That's not a problem. So that's actually a really, really good point. It kind of opens the doorway on the other side for companies that haven't used Easy Publish to start using Easy Publish.
Yeah. So yeah, but still we have this hybrid Easy 5, which is well, if you want to use it on more complex projects, then you actually you will either use only the new stack and build a lot of stuff. Maybe you already have those, but you will build a lot of stuff besides easy, or you will use the legacy stuff, but then you, of course, need to know the legacy stuff. So, Eke, what's your experience as an insider, so as an Easy Publish developer on building stuff with Easy 5?
We made both. We made pure Easy Publish 5, pure Symfony, and we made mixed up projects, new ones, because there are many features are not yet there, and so it's faster to use it with the old ones. For example, one version ago, to have a breadcrumb, you had to write an extra controller, or just put a little bit old template code inside. And so many of the faster and cheaper projects are mixed up with old templates and new templates, and which is not very clean. The new and the big ones are clean in Symfony, but with a lot of programming.
So yeah, so the point is we have these a lot of these old code, which is we are used to use it, but well, we need to implement the new stuff, and obviously we cannot always wait for easy to do it. So we either need to use the Symfony bundles or to program ourselves, right?
Yeah, yeah. For example, for Google navigation, it's called in the Easy World. Now you take a Pager bundle for this. Before you had it a little bit small template. And so the first was to find this bundle, which makes this navigation. And now a lot of set of bundles are already there in use and tested. And so the projects are getting faster. And the demo bundle from Easy Systems is getting better, so you can look inside. For the people who are not experienced in the new Easy Publish 5, it's more easy to go inside, but it's far from perfect.
Yeah.
For both. For the old Easy Publish people, it's difficult because of Symfony and real PHP, because it was an isolated old PHP world in Easy Publish 4, and now it's on state-of-the-art PHP. And for Symfony people, you have a lot of legacy, and so to look inside or to have to program the standard functionality by yourself.
Yeah, so excellent time for a question to Bruno, who actually tried to install the Easy for the first time today, right?
Right. Well, the installation does work when you put it onto a Unix machine in general, but my aim was to install it onto Homestead, or in essence into a Vagrant box, to give SitePoint readers a common starting point. But the main problem was, the first main problem was the fact that it was entirely polluted with symlinks, and those come from Symfony, if I'm not mistaken, from install asset scripts and the like. And when your host machine is Windows, and when you're powering up Vagrant boxes for Unix development on the Windows host, there are some clashes, and symlinks won't work. So this required some manual hacking, and I had to delete some composer directives, which actually forced Symfony to do a hard copy instead of symlinking, and then that worked. But then I ran into some other issues, and I talked to who was it on Twitter? Jerome. Yeah, Jerome Villet.
down.
Yeah. I talked to him, and he seems interested in the problems I mentioned, so I will be talking to him some more about these issues. I've come across a really old issue on the Easy forums that actually says that under Nginx, Easy gets stuck on the setup wizard screen, on the first wizard screen. And in order to get past the first wizard screen, you actually have to literally change the action parameter of the form with DevTools. So this was kind of, this blew me away. This is the point where I stopped right now, and I'm searching for a solution that doesn't include DevTools. But it hasn't been a pleasant ride. You'll read about it.
Yeah, but you must confess that you tried to do it in a, let's say, less standards way, right?
Yes, indeed. I realize that not many people install it into a Vagrant VM running on Windows, but this is also where I'm kind of interested in your guys' development process. You people work with clients and develop easy publish projects for them. What does your development process look like? Do you download a new instance of Easy Publish onto the same machine every time? Do you have virtual machines? How do you work? How do you start?
Well, I can say for us, we are very, well, it's simple. We usually have a development server, and most of us work on there, and sometimes we just use Git to pull something to a local computer, but using the same database. So it's kind of it's not a perfect solution, but it saves us a lot of troubles with Vagrant and stuff like that. So it kind of goes. Eke, what do you use?
Oh, it's very different. Some SVN setup where everything is in the SVN inside, or it depends on the customer. Some virtual machines, some Git setup. It depends on. It's mostly there's an environment the customer wants, and so we try to make it with this environment.
Okay, so you don't have a one, let's say, general approach, okay?
No. Many different approaches, which makes it more interesting, but more difficult because there's not a real standardization. For our own project, most is SVN, and then a development server, and then live server, and multi-site setup, and so on.
Okay. Okay, so what in general? So a question for anyone. So what's your current opinion on? I mean, generally speaking, for Symfony, when you build content management based sites, so they are more content focused. They are not web applications. What do you use? How do you make them? Maybe the best question for Ryan.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So if it's got, I don't do a lot of sites that have a lot of content because I do more web application things. So it's an interesting question because there's not a standard solution. So typically, one thing about Symfony developers is they're very custom developers used to creating custom web applications, so they like to kind of be in control. So if you're going to have a lot of content, you have a couple options. One is to use a couple of bundles that give you some lightweight content solutions. So you're able to kind of create a couple different types of entities with some different fields. That gives you some flexibility, but not too much. There's also the Symfony CMF, which is a very nice project, but it's all about kind of like the storage of content. I think that's really interesting. It's at version 1.0. It doesn't have... it's still on the newer side of things, but that's a very promising project. As far as the kind of front end, if you will, or not the front end, but really the admin interface for editing the content, there is a bundle called Sonata Admin Bundle, which is very, very good, but also very difficult to use, and this documentation is sort of out of date. And then there's Easy Publish. So there's sort of like different things that solve different parts of the problem, and they all have their pros and cons, or they all have their things that they do and don't do. Like the Sonata Admin Bundle, for example, is nothing. It knows nothing about storage. It's all about, well, how does it look to edit stuff? And the CMF is has some things for editing, but is focused on like what the kind of storage layer is. And then for a Symfony developer, and this is one thing I'll be interested in kind of looking up to the next year of Easy is, again, like, well, we're sort of used to starting with a project and opting into the individual pieces. Like, I'm going to use this bundle, I'm going to use this bundle. What Symfony developers don't typically like is, here's this entire giant thing that has taken over your project. And we're sort of like, whoa, this isn't a Symfony project anymore. This is something different, and I no longer know what all the pieces are doing. So as far as, like, for content, what I would like to see and what I would hope to see kind of like the next year from Easy Publish, if it's possible, just for my own selfish purposes, is being able to take individual pieces or smaller pieces from Easy Publish into a Symfony project. So I have a Symfony project. I didn't start with like an Easy project sandbox. I started with the Symfony project, and I was able to say, it'd be great is if I kind of got like this this content bundle and this kind of like admin interface bundle, and also maybe like this kind of menu bundle, something that kind of like integrated with a menu system and the content itself to make a menu. Like that would be really great, because I have my Symfony app, and I have these 3 things with content, and I'm able to kind of like run with that. So there's some solutions that are kind of out there right now, but there's nothing that really does that in the way that Symfony developers like. So I think that there's an opportunity there. I mean, I know that's not like necessarily Easy Publish's core business, but again, selfishly, I'd like to see that kind of gap filled a little bit.
Yeah, well, you actually, what I know so far is that you have the Easy Publish public API. It's actually not Symfony required. I mean, it's not depending on Symfony. You could pull it out and use it with other frameworks or even by itself. So it's actually the public API is agnostic to Symfony. Then they have the Easy Publish bundle, which is then actually the connection to Symfony. So in a way, this already is, but will they break it apart in more bundles? That's something that I'm not sure that will ever happen, because they have this product, and it's an enterprise product. So it will be probably too much work to do to really break it down in too many pieces, or
well, and it maybe doesn't need to if it is being separated. And so a common thing for people that aren't familiar, a common pattern, which is a really great pattern in kind of like the new world of PHP, is like, maybe back in earlier versions of Easy Publish or Symfony, you had like a plugin. You made a plugin and you put all of your code into a plugin. You shared it with the Easy community, or you shared it with the Symfony community. Now what's happening is people will make like small PHP libraries that would work in Symfony or Zen Framework or in a flat PHP project, and then they'll build a small plugin layer on top of that to plug that into Easy, or plug that into Zen Framework, or plug that into Symfony. So that's kind of, I think, what we're talking about here is that, like, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like Easy Publish has kind of that library aspect, and then it has the bundle that actually ties it into Symfony. So if the majority of the actual functionality is inside of that kind of library layer, then yeah, then you're right, it's already kind of decoupled. And even if Easy itself didn't kind of take the Easy Publish bundle and split that into multiple pieces, if there are, it would basically be up to the community to kind of like identify this opportunity and make additional bundles that took that integrated into Symfony, just the small pieces of it. So I think that's something that's possible, and it's interesting. If there's some interesting chunks of the library itself that we could reuse, then my hope is that we would do that. The difficulty there is that the Symfony community and the Easy Publish community are kind of one and the same, but it's still, we don't know each other yet, and we're not always looking at each other's libraries. So the challenge there is for when a Symfony developer has a problem to actually realize that, hey, this is actually something that is solved in a kind of an Easy Publish component, so I should not rewrite my own thing, but use that, then write a small bundle to integrate that into Symfony. So that's kind of the community challenge there, is be like, hey, let's see if there's a solution out there that already exists, and when we look for that, we need to look kind of beyond what our normal ecosphere is and actually make sure that we're seeing the easy stuff.
Yeah. Well, getting to that, just wondering for Stig, why did you choose Easy at the first place? Why you didn't choose some other things like, maybe Drupal or whatever?
Well, we tested them all, of course, and to be quite honest, we've been retesting them again and again, especially every time Easy signals something new coming along, and we need to be updated on Drupal and such. But Well, our clients are very much enterprise, and they need anything solved, and we can't really seem to. We even tried solving things on Drupal and WordPress, and haven't been able to do it in the same elegant, enterprisey way. We couldn't meet our clients' expectations without Easy, quite simply, and anything else that was not on PHP would be too much. Well, that would require too much from us. We're a PHP environment, so that was out of the question.
Well, okay, and going back again to Bruno from SidePoint. Well, you have this more, maybe the broadest picture, especially regarding the PHP community, which is then much bigger than the Symfony itself. Like we said, that Easy Publish has this public API which is even not bound to Symfony. What do you think? Is it for a PHP community? Even though the installation might be difficult, but let's say that you manage to install it in a normal way, for example, on a Linux, not on a underlying Windows. Would you be, would a general PHP developer be interested in using the, let's say, the public API and using the content management features that Easy as a great CMS offers? What do you think?
Well, of course, API is always great. I'm not familiar with the exact features that Easy Publish offers, but any API is a good API. So as long as it doesn't force people to use something they don't want to, and still provides some features out of the box that people can consume with other frameworks and applications of their choice, that's really great. I will definitely be giving it a thorough look, and I intend to come to summer camp far more educated about Easy Publish and Symfony in general than I am currently. But I think I'm still a far cry from that, and I'll definitely look into all the possible issues I'll encounter during that time. So yeah, including the API, including the features we can use that belong to Easy and that we can use outside of Easy, definitely.
Okay, so one good thing come out of this show is that we have one new user.
Potential user.
One new potential user. Actually, when I was checking out SidePoint regarding also the partnership or the sponsorship for the summer camp, I came across a very old article about EZ3, which was like 10 years ago. So after 10 years, there will be some talks about Easy on SidePoint, which for me, it's a good sign. What do you think?
I agree. You said 10 years ago.
Or something like that.
I'm really interested in...
Yeah, because the Easy Publish version 3, which was quite... It was actually a similar situation because it also was a rewrite from the Easy Publish version 2, and it was something like 2003 or 2004, something like that. Well, anyway, back to the future. Eke, what do you think about, would it be possible for either Symfony or a PHP developer to comprehend the easy concepts and the public API and stuff like that? Because you know them both?
Yes, it's very easy for a Symfony developer. It's extremely easy. And if they have a little bit content management knowledge and the content architecture behind, then they can use Easy Publish very easily. With something like PHP Storm and develop a little bit, and then they have the pages running.
So you don't think there should be any, let's say, technical well, maybe not technical, but more like a conceptual walls or something like that.
Yes, yes. It's more a thing about content architecture, because if you make applications, you don't have this huge mass of content and so on. But if they have experienced content architects by them or something, then it's a good start. And if it's possible to make good setup or better setup so that it's easier to start with it, then a lot of people will try it and have the first experience with Easy Publish and a lot of fun.
Okay. So I think, like Bruno's already started, there will be a need for testing different situations like this, installing on Vagrant, which is running on Windows, etc. Obviously, there are some problems with that, so it would be good to overcome this and make it more available to broader developer public. Okay, any last words or messages? I think 35 minutes is a nice round number.
I'll say one thing about the assets install. I would say that that's something that could be the assets install problem is maybe actually a Symfony problem, and we currently, as of about 2 weeks ago, which is a really great thing for the Symfony community and so also for the Easy Publish community, have started a developer experience initiative. And this is basically where we invite everyone in the community on any library that touches Symfony in any way to, if they hit a bad error message or bad documentation or that exact situation where, hey, if you install this on Windows, it's just a bad experience. I had to hack around to create an issue on whatever repository is there and ask the author of the repository to create a DX issue label. And then what we'll be doing over the next many months, at least the next 6 months leading up to Symfony 2.6, is basically trying to fix and improve the developer experience as much as possible. So that's, again, like, I'm really excited about that as far as Symfony goes, and that's another cool spot where as soon as you said that that assets install thing, Bruno, I was like, that one's on my list, because that command should be able to detect if there are symlinks available on that system or not, even if it's, you know, a Unix system with the Windows pack. I feel like we should be able to do that better. So I was like, we can do a better job there. So anyways, we're really excited about that, and we're also doing a hack day on this Saturday. So if you want to come hang out, go to the Symfony blog and you can see details. We have a community hack day. We're all going to get together online and basically start attacking these developer experience issues. Because I think as Eckhard basically said, you want, whether it's Symfony or Easy Publish, you want that first experience to be fun, not why can't I see my assets type of thing. So
I think Bruno didn't have fun, right?
No, I don't think so.
Fun. I had a great learning experience, but it was not fun.
Okay, so you can work on that.
I'm looking forward to submitting those developer experience issues, and I might check out the hack day on Saturday. Sounds interesting.
Awesome.
Okay, great, guys. Very thank you for all of you for managing to get to the Hangout, well, at least at the second try. And last note, all of us, so all of us 5, and much more other Easy Publish and Symfony people will be at the PHP and Easy Publish Summer Camp, which we at NetGen are organizing. It's September, first week of September, in Croatia, near the beach. So it's better for you not to miss it, either for the beach sake or for sake of joining the great guys at both communities, the gurus. And thanks again, and let me just say bye from Che. Here's the angry Che. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you guys. Thanks, everybody.